Welcome back to Midnight Howl, and we are the Keepers of the Grave. Today, we have a very special guest with us. We have John Doe. Now, before we get into John Doe, I just kind of want to explain what he does. You see, out in the field, we have many agents and agencies all over the world. However, sometimes there's too much paranormal going on that we need, some reliable sources. So that's where John Doe comes in. John Doe, you have any words of wisdom or anything you want to say to our fellow haulers?
Just want to say thank you for having me. I haven't been here since we had the podcast with Star-Lord.
That's right.
Very successful. I've been out on missions lately. These are very pressing times. These are very pressing times.
Man, you can say that again.
These are very pressing times.
Tell me why. Ooh, I was about to call you Star-Lord. Man, it took me back to that podcast.
One day I'll get to his stature, but
yeah, he's a true veteran, that guy.
But I just feel like with all the things going on, we really have to speak about all these paranormal things,
that people must know.
Anomalies.
Yes.
Whatever it is, it's things out of the normal. And right now, what is normal?
I mean, there's too much chaos going on in the world for us to keep all this information. The reason why we brought in John Doe is for us to actually declassify something that has been, rumoring around the internet, and we're actually here to give this. So we're actually here to lay this to rest. You see, John Doe here has been on a mission, and so have I.
My bad, dog.
What's up?
I just started.
So you see, John Doe and I we have been on similar cases, so that's the reason why we brought him in. And today, I don't know if you noticed, but we're actually going to be talking about giants. And the case that I've been working on is a particular one. It's up in the Appalachian mountains. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I don't know if I did.
I think so. Appalachian, yeah.
Appalachian, right? And this is about the Appalachian giant. And actually, I've been researching this case for a while now. This file goes back goes back down to 1821.
Wow.
I've been working this case since 1821. A few early European settlers, they were exploring these mountains, and they came across this giant. So, they didn't really have the technology. So, best they can do is, draw. And I have some early drawings here, which unfortunately I can't declassify those drawings.
Yeah.
Too much insight. So these early Europeans, they actually were up in these mountains.
Yeah.
And they said that the Indians there, the Cherokees, they actually call this guy Tusul Kaulu, right? I think. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that translates to the slant-eyed giant. Slant-eyed giant. And there's records, and there's actually evidence of this guy, or at least there was. Our files indicate that this guy had 7 fingers, and he had claws as hands. He was taller. He was as tall as the trees, and he would jump from mountain to mountain. Yeah. So this guy had crazy abilities. I know it's kind of hard to believe, and you guys are gonna say, "Man, this is a lie," but there was evidence once of this giant. Down in a deep creek by the Tuskegee? Tuskegee?
Yeah, the Tuskegee. Yeah.
Tuskegee? Tuskegee?
Tuskegee.
Tuskegee, thank you. River, teamwork. They actually found his footprints on a rock. Like I mentioned earlier, this giant, like, he likes to jump. He used to, like, I don't think he's alive anymore. I'm obviously still working on the case, but there really hasn't been any traces after that. Because what happened was they built a railroad through there and they broke the rock that had his imprint. Yeah. Again, pictures, so you can see there, John Doe. I can only share these with you. But these are classified for the general public.
I can confirm that that's 7 fingers.
That's 7 fingers. Look at his slanted eye.
I can confirm that that is a slanted eye.
So, I mean, John Doe, what do you think about this? Should we obviously we cannot declassify the pictures or the sketches from the early Europeans. There are, however, it's called a how do you say that? Okay, so there's this rock called the Jatukula rock.
Yeah, sounds right. Yeah.
It sounds about right, right? Sounds about right. And there's these engravings on this rock. And now the natives believe that the way these markings were carved on this rock was when he would jump from mountain to mountain. Okay. He would land on this creek, and by doing so, it created these markings on the rock. And the local Cherokee tribes will do offerings to him. Yeah. At that spot, and ceremonies at that spot. So there's a lot of spiritual energy in these places.
That residual energy, right?
Residual energy.
No, it's very interesting. Giants, not only in like Cherokee lore, or you said that this was in the Appalachian. So this is up here in the North America. Yeah, this was actually in North Carolina. This was North Carolina.
Yeah, a case that it took us, like I said, since 1821.
Yeah.
And I'm still working that case.
Yeah, no, I mean, giants, they predate everything from a lot of different records and a lot of different agents. They say that they were the first ones that settled on this earth. One of the first beings.
Correct.
And
that's a fact.
To this day, I believe it. I know you were talking about the Appalachian giant. I kind of wanted to, this is a more open case. This is more research, than it is an actual ongoing investigation that we have right now.
Gotcha.
That's, classified. Yours,
Correct.
I wanted to speak about Balor. Ooh. Balor. He's considered, the one-eyed god of death. He was a giant as well, but he was
sounds like a great guy,
Yeah, right. Right up your alley. This giant, he was from Ireland. Ooh.
Love Irish people.
Yeah. And he was part of the Fomorians.
What's a Fomorian?
So the Fomorians were a race of giants who were said to be the early settlers of Ireland. Can you believe that?
Are you telling me that the early settlers of Ireland were giants?
They were giants. And it's hard to believe that the early settlers of Ireland were giants. When
why isn't this in my records?
I'll share a file with you after.
I'm gonna need those. Thank
you have, Ireland, giants and leprechauns, polar opposites,
Complete polar opposites.
So about Balor, he was more of a Cyclops type giant because he was one-eyed.
Correct.
He had one eye. And he was said that he would walk around with his eyes shut, with his one eye shut.
Why? Why would he? How can he walk around like that?
I think he would just stumble around and, hit everything in front of him. But so the thing about Balor, the reason why he was called the god of death was because anybody that would look into his eye would die instantly.
Oh, wow.
It was instant death. And he figured this out early on that was his gift or curse, what say you? And he would only use it when he needed it. So he would only open up his eyes when he was going to murder somebody or something, or an opposition, whatever it was. But this was one of the main giants of Ireland, one of the most prolific giants, one of the most feared giants of Ireland. And maybe he's the one that wiped out the Fomorians. Who knows what happened to that race of giants in Ireland? But that's my theory from all of my extensive research, my hours, my days. That's what it adds up to.
So you're telling me that it's not really folklore, it's not, because I have the facts here, I have the evidence here in my files.
Yeah.
I have the facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Here. Honestly say that giants are real, know, and are they still out there? Well, that's the open case that we're ongoing, but the evidence is there.
Yeah.
And John Doe, I have to say that this has to be declassified.
Of course, these are very pressing times.
Exactly,
ladies and gentlemen, very pressing.
And if we don't get this information out there, we don't tell the people the truth, then who is? Why are we even why are we on here?
Yeah, I agree. I believe there's still giants out there. We get a lot of intel every day.
Correct. Yes. I'm not the only agent working on this case. There are several agents working on the case. We have other John Does as well. This is just the best John Doe that we have.
Yep.
You guys, honestly,
that.
What's up?
I appreciate it.
Oh, of course,
so
man.
Flattering.
I mean, come on. You're the one who brings us. Any case we give you, you're up to the challenge. You have balls of steel. You're the man in the cult, man of mystery, man.
Oh yeah, and one thing I want to say: when I'm out on the field, I'm not wearing this. I live amongst you, normal folk. I don't have my hat. I don't have my prototype scopes. Right now, I'm getting information inside these glasses. These are not just shades. Like right now, there's files just going on the inside. I'll show you guys one day, but right now I'm just getting calls and radar all through these scopes, and
it's KGA technology.
Yeah, KGA technology. So when I'm out on the field, I could be right next to you. I could be watching the video.
You wouldn't even know.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know. But we get calls about these giants and sightings of giants all the time. I truly believe they're still out there. Maybe underground.
So you
possibility. What do you guys think? I think these, I really do think they're still out there, living amongst us, above us in the skies, maybe below us. But Balor, he's not with us anymore. He was actually murdered.
Damn. R.I.P.
Yeah. So it's really cool, actually.
What? He got murdered?
Yeah, he was actually murdered.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was a prophecy. So his life was to live a prophecy.
That is pretty cool.
His life was to die eventually. It was written,
Aren't we all though?
Exactly. I like that quote of the day. But according to a prophecy, it was said that Balor would be killed by his own grandson, his own kin. Can you believe that?
Wow.
His own grandson. It was pretty messed up. He had imprisoned one of his daughters. Her name was Ethelyn. Beautiful name, right?
Ethelyn, yes.
Ethelyn. In a crystal tower. He did this in vain to attempt her from having any children, from keeping the bloodline to himself.
Gotcha. So he didn't want to fulfill the prophecy.
No, he wanted to stay him being the Balor, the one and only. So he kept his daughter from having any contact with anyone in a crystal tower. And however, though, a minor god, his name is Cian, whatever you want to call it. He snuck in, and my boy impregnated Ethlyn consensually.
No, like, let's get it on.
Yeah, exactly like that. Like some Shrek and Fiona type stuff.
Oh man, some swampy business.
Exactly. So, So, upon discovering the birth.
I'm sorry, you said I can't get Shrek and Fiona out of my head right now. And then there's Donkey. Shrek. I'm sorry, just continue. Get out of my swamp.
So anyway, back to the nitty gritty facts. So Balor, upon finding this out that there was a child born, behind his back, Balor had thrown them into the sea. He threw the child, and he threw his daughter, and I think Cyan got away. From what I know, no one really knows what happened to Cyan. But Balor threw them into the sea. But one of the kids, it was multiple kids that she had, that Ethlyn had. One of the kids.
Was it with Cyan?
Yeah.
Nice.
One of the kids, his name was Luh or Luh, whatever you want to call him. He escaped the fate of death in the ocean, and he got fostered by Mananan, Mac Lir, the god of the sea. The prophecy finally played out when Luh came back from the ocean, and he led the Tuatha De Danann, a race of Irish gods, into battle, and they killed Balor by ripping his eye out of his head.
Nice.
And as much as Balor tried to avoid, can you believe that?
I would have just.
As much as Balor tried to avoid this destiny and try to fight against this prophecy, he ended up living out the prophecy the way it was supposed to. So Balor's not with us anymore, but I do believe there are other giants still out there, like Luke. Whatever happened to him,
True.
He was born of Balor, and he had the blood of gods in him as well. Pretty crazy stuff.
Sorry, that is pretty crazy stuff. Honestly, it's I think it's crystal clear that
Crystal clear.
Yeah.
That's a crystal tower.
Yeah. Honestly, I have to say, we have to let the public know. We have to let our fellow horrors know that these cases are declassified. The truth is out there. Giants are real. Don't let the Smithsonian try to hide the evidence no more, because the KGA, John Doe, is out there, out in the field, doing the research, doing anything and everything, and pulling all the resources to getting you guys the truth.
Yes.
So remember, guys, tune in, because if you guys don't hear from us, it's not the truth. Remember to like, subscribe, and share the video. Until next time.
Quick question, I think there's one giant living amongst us. Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak.
Who's that? Who the heck is that?
He plays for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh, I have no idea who that. I'm gonna put that at the end.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut it like right there.